Hey everybody, it's Thursday, September 28th, 2023. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, and we are here at the Tallulah Gorge Interpretive Center. This is where you have to come and get a permit. Now the permit is free, but you have to get a permit to walk to the bottom of the gorge. Now we were told to be here at 8 o'clock, but we were just told that they are reassessing the weather. It's kind of interesting. So they're going to wait till 9:30 to give out permits. You can tell by the clouds that it's a little misty. There's a little bit of a haze or fog. And I guess that makes it very wet going down there, which makes sense. And if it's wet, you have to take a safety class on how to, I guess, get down there. And we also talked to a lady, and she said that when you get down there, the trail, you're more than likely going to slip and fall and maybe even be in over your head in the water. So I have no idea what to expect on this, but we're gonna hang out here in the interpretive center and check some things out, and then see if we can get one of those permits to go to the bottom of the gorge. Now the other thing with the bottom of the gorge is I think there's somewhere around 1,000 stairs. If we did the math right and we did Amicola Falls, it was 600 stairs up and 600 stairs down. So this is going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but we will see what happens as the morning progresses. Why they don't just do a safety class and get us on our way, I have no idea, but again, we'll find out. I'm coming inside the interpretive center. They've got a nice gift shop. Pretty cool museum with all kinds of displays with all the animals that you'll see in the area. Back over here is kind of the history or the walk-through exhibits. Kinds of cool stuff. Some stuff they probably stole from Cracker Barrel. But pretty neat little visitor center or interpretive center. Definitely worth coming to visit. Can't wait to go hiking. We're still waiting for 9:30 to come around to see if we can get down to the lower portion of the falls. The funny thing is, I kind of knew that the movie Deliverance was filmed somewhere in this area because I'd looked it up years ago. But when we were looking at those cliffs yesterday here at the gorge, it really looked like the ones that Burt Reynolds attempted to climb up to kind of kill the guy at the end of the movie. Hope I'm not spoiling it for anybody that hadn't seen it. But sure enough, it was filmed here. Just glad Dad and I didn't hear any banjos last night while we were camping. So with a quick briefing and a permit in hand, we're gonna attempt this 1,099 steps. So we'll see how it goes. They just left that interpretive center, heading on the trail. Right out of the gate, the first switchback. Oh, how I hate switchbacks. Here we are. Overlook number 3. Now my guess is, looking over there, you can see the tunnel. And that must be where the water from the hydroelectric is coming out. We watched a video there in the center. Talked about the power here. And I guess it all goes 90 miles south to help power Atlanta. But that's where we're heading. Continuing down the trail to overlook number 2. This is probably the closest thing I've ever seen to Yosemite, which I would love to go back to one day. But that is just simply amazing. This is the beginning of the journey down. Should have brought a slinky. Continuing on down the stairs. Decided to pause it. 1, so I don't fall and break my neck. But 2, figured those people didn't want to be in my video. The water works. It's a good thing. It's one of the things we noticed at some of the other state parks that we've been to is that there was no water fountains. There was a soda machine at the top of Fort Mountain State Park, but it was out of water. The only thing it had were Cokes. So we had a Coke and a smile. Really should have brought that slinky. Getting down, what do you say this was? 300 something stairs. So that went pretty quick. I think it's 300 stairs to get to this swinging bridge, which, I don't know, this is where I might lose my cookies. A couple years ago, Emily and I went to West Virginia, went whitewater rafting, and walked underneath the bridge at New River Gorge, and I didn't think I was going to make it. I think I'll handle this one okay. But we'll find out. It looks like that's the trail we're going to continue, or I'm going to continue. Dad's still on the fence if he's going to go all the way to the bottom. It's not going down, it's going back up. So what are you doing? You going to go across and stay? Or are you going to continue down?
I don't know yet.
Yet to be determined. I have a feeling he's going to continue down. Part of that also is the fact that, oh God, don't look down. Oh, and it does swing. This is horrible. I'm sure if Emily was here on with me, she would probably start shaking the whole thing on purpose. Which I wish she was here. But this just means I'm going to have to come back, which is just horrible. But this place is amazing. The other thing that I find kind of weird is Emily and I went camping right after the pandemic ended. Or, well, I don't know. We won't get into that debate on when it ended. But we were camping up in Cleveland, Georgia, which is only 20 minutes from here, and I knew this was here, but I had no idea this is what it looked like. But looking down through those steps, that just makes me queasy. So as we're coming back over here, I'm looking at this, and I'm gonna have to go watch Deliverance again, but I'm pretty sure that this is the cliff at the end that Burt Reynolds has to climb up to take out the banjo guys. Either way, it's super beautiful up here. Oop. Try not to look at the camera because it's hard enough to do as it is. And it's swinging, so I'm moving pretty quick. I don't know what it is, but these things really make me nauseous. It's pretty cool though. Now we just came off the suspension bridge down this flight of stairs, and we were talking about how great this is, and no, it's not too bad. And then we saw those flights of stairs. They just keep on going. And whatever goes down must eventually come up. Now as we're going down these steps, we keep seeing these little signs here, and I think that's so you can tell the park where you have to come get the body on the way back up. But continuing down. You gotta remember sometimes to stop and enjoy the view. And speaking with one of the ladies we passed coming up, as we're still heading down, I made a joke with them. I said, "What happened? Did you forget your permit in the car?" And it was kind of briefly explained what goes on down here. But I guess the holdup is that when you get down here, you have to jump between two rocks to get to the other side. And I guess most people are falling in and literally swimming. So everybody taking shoes off, people putting shoes back on. I guess this is the thing to watch. So we met this guy in the parking lot. Today's his birthday. I should have got his name. But again, it looks like they're contemplating this whole how do you get across thing. I don't think it looks too bad. That's definitely why you bring water shoes. And I'm always a minute late. She didn't get hurt, but her feet are now wet. We were talking about all this, and I think at the last minute, I think Dad got excited and left his Keen shoes in the Jeep. So again, I told him I'll be happy to wait here while he goes all the way back up and gets his shoes, or do the easy thing and just take your shoes off, walk in the water, and get across. I didn't come all the way here for nothing, so I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna sit here and film these other people, just because you never know what's gonna happen. It's like that game show Wipeout. You see, just like that game Wipeout though, I think there might be an easier route to take. But what do I know? The anticipation's killing me. Contestant number 4. Is she gonna leap? I'd just belly flop on that thing personally. My long-legged brother was here. He'd just skip across this like it was nothing. She did an amazing job. Give her a hand, folks. She skirmishes to the next rock. Contestant number 3 decides that she would like to pass. Contestant number 2 is trying to let her pass. Contestant number 2 is on her feet. Contestant number 2 has made it to the 3rd obstacle. Contestant number 3 going between the wedge there. She's got longer legs than contestant number 2. But does she cross it with ease? No, she does not. 2 down. Contestant 2 and 3 are in the water. I could do this all day, people. This video is probably going to be my longest video to date due to that commentary there. There's a guy on YouTube. It's I don't know, like haul over inlets or wavy boats or whatever, where these boaters go in and out of the real treacherous inlets in South Florida. And Emily and I watch that all day long. I bet a guy could do a YouTube channel just filming this. Now the trick to it though is it's a state park, so I think you would have to get a commercial video and filming permit if you're actually making money on YouTube videos, which due to my high subscription rating is very lacking. So pretty sure I can get away with this one. Give it 10 years and who knows, maybe I'll get a slap on the wrist from the state. But one video can't be bad. There is no drone footage allowed here, which drone footage would be even more spectacular. But contestant number 3 is still shimmying up the one rock, while contestant number 2, I think, is drying out over there. place is just really spectacular. Now, I would kind of fault the state park on this, but I did talk to these guys, and they came down with very small children, and they said they may or may not attempt it, but the park was not very clear on how big of a gap there were in these rocks. I personally wouldn't try it. I'm not going to film it, even if they do, but I'm going to try to cross this thing. And today's video is brought to you by Keen, which again, Dad forgot in the Jeep. So here I am on the other side. This is where GoPro made their millions. Wasn't about to hold on to my iPhone and do what I just did. But coming along this outside, up over here and jumping to this one was the best way. But when you get to here, this is the part they really didn't tell you about. I'm too old to jump from there to here. Plus, this is a slanted rock. The lady yesterday said that most people try to do that. They slip, fall in, and end up swimming anyways. So she gave us a little bit of good advice last night and said that when you do this, to just go ahead, get in, brace yourself on the rocks, keep your toes pointed upstream. You can shimmy across this rock, put your hand on this rock, and easily land here, which is what I did. Not that it was an easy feat. That's how I did it. Come on, birthday boy. Good job. All right. Kind of gave them a little bit of heads up on how to do it. Not the parents. I really shouldn't even film this. But, and I was never a parent. I can't judge. But I'm pretty sure this is something where you leave the kids at home. I did have a conversation with them, and they said they were going to try this, but I can't film it. Either way, I got to find out what Dad's doing. All right, I couldn't resist. Don't think I'm a jerk. I actually took off my backpack. I got everything out of my pockets because I am not going to help them. But if something goes wrong, I'm going to go swimming as fast as I can after those kids. Alright, I don't think Dad's coming, even though I'd get in the water and help him across. Again, I'm not going to help these people because if something goes wrong, I don't want to be responsible. But again, if those kids go in the water, this is the point, if they're going to get in, this is where I fell in the water. It sort of slipped, but it wasn't bad. But this is where I'm going to put the video down. Show you how it goes. So Dad decided to stay behind. I ended up doing what I said I wasn't going to do once they were fully committed. I reached out, gave him a hand, and got him across. But he slipped on that rock and about smashed the baby into the rock when he was sliding. But they're across safe for now. But if Dad's staying behind, I'm going to try and get ahead of this, because I am not in the tour guide business anymore. But this place is beautiful, and I already can't wait to come back. Maybe on a hot summer day, that way you can accidentally fall in a few times. Coming through this way, the guy said you're gonna go over rocks and under logs. So I guess that's where I'm heading. No, unfortunately, I can't move fast enough because everybody's following me. One of the things I wanted to stop while I catch my breath is they told us that in the event that they open up the spillway to the dam and all of a sudden start draining the lake, that there will be sirens and alarms going off. And when the sirens and alarms go off, you need to find one of these high water marks so that you aren't swept away down the river. We watched a video and they also talked about twice a year they open up the waters of the dam and people go whitewater rafting and kayaking down this. Note to self, Google search when that is. So I just sprinted up this hill to get ahead of this bubble, but I guess it wasn't fast enough. But again, everybody seems to be following me everywhere except up here where I got a good view. But that is a gnarly trail. This is a good piece of advice. Do not remain in the area between these signs if you hear the siren. And that's because all that water is going to go between those rocks and this rock. So this would be the equivalent of being flushed down a toilet. Just had to come down here and check that out. Emily, I thought of you. Well, I'm always thinking of you, but saw this piece of barn wood that is now driftwood. You can still see the nails in it. I'd bring it home, but it's a long hike up, and I'm not sure how the state park would feel about it. So the trail comes from this way, comes to this nice sloping wall with a waterfall. And it continues in that direction. However, part of me wonders if it's that way. One way to find out. Coming along to this slope, scooting across this is literally a pain in the butt, because I tried to walk it, obviously leaning, kind of like spider walking across it. That didn't work. So I had to slide on my rear end till I got to about here, and I can walk. But again, I keep trying to go quicker with stopping to film. The parents are right behind. They did have the little girl walking on her own, which probably an even worse idea, but again, you just Can't beat the view down here. The trail goes up, and I think along to the bottom down there. So I was thinking when I saw that sign over there, it said don't stay between the signs, it meant the other side, which really made sense because the water's gonna come through there. But I finally found the second sign. So that means if the siren does go off, you gotta skirmish that slick wall from about there to about here. And you wouldn't try it with kids. Again, this is horrible. At least in my opinion. Comment below. This will probably be the video that, whatever, if there's a chance of one going viral, this is it. But, oh my goodness. I'm also really morally torn on whether to let them go ahead. That way if something happens, I'm behind them. But this is just getting worse and worse. And they're following me, and I really don't even know if I'm going the right way. I think it's a switchback though. Good news is it's not a switchback. The interesting thing, just from hiking in Red River Gorge for several years when I was in college, this thing would be amazing. They've got videos of people kayaking down this when the dam opens. Again, note to self, Google that. But the point is, those little spikes are basically anchor points to hold on to as you skirmish across and don't fall in there, which again, based on what's behind me, I'm gonna get ahead. Well, real quick, they're trying to keep up with me, so I might as well slow down and be here. I don't know, either way. I stayed real high and just held on to the rocks, but as you get here, you pretty much have to slide on your butt all the way down. I'm pretty sure I was wrong. Those bolts weren't to help you, by the way. It'd be anchor points for cables, probably when they built the dam, who knows what. But the other thing is, there's another sign. So let me rephrase that. If that dam alarm, ha ha ha, goes off, you gotta get from way back there to here. I hope they give you, I don't know, at least a half hour. I just climbed up these gigantic stairs, basically. I think this is a good place to stop. I really want to stop and smell the roses, but trying to keep ahead is wearing me out. So it sounds like what I'm going to do is take a nice little break, have a snack, let them get ahead. Because the reality of it for me is at this point, it's just ruining my video. So I just called Emily's dad to let him know that I'm taking a long break to let those people get ahead of me. I'm sitting here just enjoying the view, and out of the corner of my eye, My answer to the question in the last video is yes, they allow rock climbing. No thanks. I've seen Free Solo, I've seen the Dawn Wall. Had a panic attack watching both of them. To keep my feet on the ground. Because worst case here, again, you end up swimming, but I'm not afraid of the water. Okay, so this must be Bring a Dumb Parent Day. Because this other parent passed us up and said he was trying to find a place to go swimming with his kids. Now don't get me wrong, when I was that age, I'd probably get in the water too. However, what they don't realize is that if you get about halfway between there and there, that water's moving so swift that you're gonna go down through here. Now, I don't know, it looks pretty safe, but what I know from doing a little bit of whitewater rafting is that you can get your leg trapped underneath one of those rocks. Now, I don't mean to be doom and gloom, but I guess I'm just getting old. I think a safer spot would have been right back here if you were going to get in the water, but again, the Park Service said absolutely no swimming in these pools, and the reason, again, is because that water is moving very swift. So again, I'm not a parent, but I was a kid once. I'd probably do the same thing, but I'd probably get in here. Either way, it's beautiful. Thought I heard a big mosquito. Oh, he took off when I grabbed my phone. But there was a drone flying right over our head. I've been hanging out talking to the birthday boy, helping him and his girlfriend over here a little bit, but you can see who's keeping up. Now I started moving. They took a break, I don't know, 20 feet past me, so I don't know if it's coincidence or what, but point to this part. Again, here's these little medallions if you hear a siren go off, and I don't know, I'm just kind of out here entertaining myself, obviously. And what I'm sitting there thinking is, when that siren goes off, is it kind of like musical chairs where everybody's fighting for a seat? But I don't know, quite humorous in my opinion, but I don't know. Either way, this has just been bouldering back here, just hopping from boulder to boulder. It's real thick here because I think it just kind of flattens out, you know, water-wise a little bit. So because it flattened out, there's a lot of trees and logs. You got to kind of step over and climb under, but it's not too bad. But looks like it's going to clear up there. But we've already seen a couple people head back, and I think they're just saying it took longer than what they thought. So we'll see. And like I said, it flattened out a little bit back here. It's kind of nice from doing all the bouldering. Watched a YouTube video on the Berkeley Marathon. If you guys have never seen that documentary about that, that is total insanity, in my opinion. But if they had a Tallulah Gorge marathon, pretty sure I could finish, but it'd be amazing to watch. You'd have those parents with their kids on their back in the race. But really cool. Looks like we're coming to the end. So got to here. Really don't know if this is where you cross or not. So this is where I'm gonna actually have to pull out my AllTrails app and try to figure it out. But this is definitely the hangout spot. Get over here in the shade. So looking at the app, I don't know how close the GPS is, but it really looks like you go that way and back over. I tried to do what that guy's doing. There's so much algae on it. It's slick as hell. So, and if you slip, that's one wild ride. I know.
Oh my God.
I'm sick watching this. Yeah, poor kids crying. You can't hear it over the water, but now what I ended up doing, even those kids over there said that that's really slick. I ended up just wading into, I don't know, just above knee-height water across here, hopped up the rock and came across. But getting across this is obviously no easy feat, but just doing a great job. I think the worst part's next. It's the stairs going up. I hope I'm on the right trail. But this is pretty much a straight skirmish up these rocks. There's definitely a path that comes up and looks like it continues straight uphill that way. I think most of the people have turned around versus coming up here. I think even the parents decide to go back, but I'm not sticking around to find out. But they decide to go back maybe after they crossed it, which Makes no sense either, but I have no idea. Either way, I'm gonna keep going. But yeah, Dad, it's probably, well, it's not probably, it's a good thing you didn't come back here, because this is brutal, but it's a hell of a lot of fun. Sure, the video doesn't do it justice, but this is probably at, I don't know, 25-30% incline. But that, probably closer to 45% incline. When you look at this trail on AllTrails, you see moderate and strenuous quite a bit. This one just said hard. It's doable, obviously, but it's not for the faint of heart. I'd do it again, but not today. Now, again, the video does not do this justice. Where I was at and crossed the water is way down there. The guy that kind of told me where he thought the trail was is helping the family with the kids climb up this, and you can barely see his head down there. So I thought they turned back, but they're climbing up this way, and I've made it very clear that I'm not sure if this is the trail, but I've looked at AllTrails. The arrow keeps bouncing me on and off the trail. If I've missed the stairs, like, I guess I'd rather climb this than stairs, but I still got a long way to go. But the guy back there just said, no, you got to climb this, and then you climb the stairs. But he also said he's never been here before, so. What a day out on the trail. I'm gonna sleep good tonight. So a couple that I talked to way down there, just past me coming up this, they've been up it before. They said this is definitely the trail. I thought there were stairs on this side, but those t-shirts that say I climbed 1,099 stairs, I guess meant you climb down over there and then back up like Dad did. So I don't know what this is. I'd rather climb this than stairs, but I'm almost to the top. I think Emily's dad's waiting for me at the top, but doing good so far. All right, so I'm almost to the top. You can get an idea where we're at, but called Emily's dad. He's walking this way, so we'll meet up and start heading back. But that is a great climb. So, coming up this way. Here's Emily's dad. Probably calling everybody to let them know I'm alive. Nope. He's just filming. Do not go that way.
That's why I got this far. Yeah, all those young ladies, old lady, they told me you were back here.
There's no way they passed me because they were way back there. So now at the top, at the end of the south rim, there's a tower here that I guess one of the Walindas tight roped across the gorge in the 70s.
Is that what that is?
Which brought back the popularity of Tallulah Gorge. Watching that movie at the Information Center, Interpretive Center, said there was a fire here. I don't know, I think it was back in the 30s or 40s. Kind of destroyed the town and people kind of forgot about it. But in the 70s, when one of the Walindas tight roped across, it brought back the popularity. And even though they wanted to make this a state park a long time ago, it only became a state park in 1993. So, same year I graduated, so pretty wild that it's only been a state park since I got out of high school. Either way, it's a great trail. It's a pretty cool park. I end the video here because this just ends up where I shot the video and ended it pretty much yesterday. What a great day out here at Tallulah Gorge. I fooled you. We're not ending the video yet. Got here to the top. Emily's dad was asking about the rock climbers. And I was down there taking pictures of them up here. But it looks like they're starting to finally rappel down. Pretty cool day, like I said, out here at Tallulah Gorge.